Ah! Ah! Madam, it's nothing. Leave me be. Natsu flew into her room and threw herself on her bed, lamenting. Those heart-wrenching sobs reached Kumasawa in the hallway. Poor Madame Natsu. There is a deep enmity between her and Eva-sama. Explaining their relationship would be very trying for me as a woman. The Ushiromiya family blood holds... The Ushiromiya family holds blood in high regard, but if a woman marries and leaves the family, they are normally removed from the family register. Thus, under normal circumstances, Eva-sama should have been removed when she married Hideyoshi-sama. However, there is no one deserving of blame in this matter. Madam certainly bears no guilt. There is nothing to call it other than a whim of God. Kraus-sama and Natsu-sama were not blessed with children for some time. After all, this is the male-dominant Ushiromiya family. A wife is merely a tool to create an heir. If such a wife cannot fulfill her only duty, she will not even be treated as a human. It pains me to remember how the master tortured Madam during that time. Back then, a wedding between Eva-sama and Hideyoshi-sama was being discussed. Eva-sama was sly. Taking advantage of Madam's inability to become pregnant, she gained the favor of the master. She inspired him to allow her to marry and give birth to a successor herself, making sure to avoid transferring her name out of the Ushiromiya register. There was a vast difference in the Ushiromiya hierarchy between Madam, who married into the Ushiromiya family and was treated like an outsider, and Eva-sama, who was related to the family by blood, and whose husband took on the Ushiromiya name. Furthermore, Eva-sama actually gave birth first to a boy. As for how much weaker Madam's position was than Eva-sama's, well, I believe you can see for yourself. I'm sure Madam is tormented by the thought that if only she had gotten pregnant earlier, the master wouldn't have accepted Eva-sama's request to keep her last name after marriage. And Eva-sama wouldn't have been permitted to act as arrogantly as she did today. However, that was not Madam's fault. All of the blame lies with God's whims and the stork that delivered Jessica late. Even so, Madam won't allow herself to see things this way. She probably can't help but cry bitter tears as a woman at her inability to carry out the duties expected of a wife. Ah, how sad. I cannot do anything except to watch over her from the shadows. Again with the glass shattering. Quit breaking my glass, god damn it. We crossed the hall again on our way to the entrance. As we did, we once again spotted that witch's portrait. However, spotted is probably not the best word to describe that experience. It was more like our eyes were inexorably drawn to it. That woman's eyes, with their sage-like glamour, definitely had the power to make those who viewed it stand rooted to the spot. So this is the witch Beatrice. I wonder if that story's true.
Battler doesn't believe.
Back when he had asked what this picture was, the first person to tell him had been Maria. Therefore, when Battler showed signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Battler didn't have faith in her. Oh, excuse me. Of course, that wasn't what Battler meant. Maria ran up to the portrait and began banging on a plate hanging below it. Near the title of the portrait was written there. Maria, trying to prove that she wasn't lying, obstinately continued to hit the plate. Sorry about that. It's not like I doubt you or anything. It's not like I doubt anything you said, Maria.
Battler believes.
When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly ing. What's this? My beloved witch Beatrice. Behold the sweet fish river. What's with this weird, huge epitaph? The plate did have the title of the portrait written on it, but it was much too big to contain only that. Beneath the title was what appeared to be a long epitaph. If you just skimmed over it, several unnerving words would jump out at you. Incredible, isn't it? Grandfather had that made. Pretty deep, huh?
I know. It's the place where the gold's hidden.
Wait, is that the story about the Ushiromiya family's hidden gold? Now there's another thing I remember from long ago. Hold on, Aniki. Is this for real? Grandfather had this made, but he never said anything about this picture or the epitaph. Even so, amongst the family, it is often whispered that it indicates the location of grandfather's hidden gold, and that he will relinquish the inheritance and the gold to the person who solves the riddle.
I heard that too. I heard that too. Lots and lots of gold.
Well, something like that. Something like 10 metric tons of gold bars. I think it's fake, though. Still, when you read about an epitaph like this, it almost seems real. I think I already explained grandfather's upbringing, but let me also mention the Ushiromiya family's legend of the gold. Grandfather succeeded the Ushiromiya family after it was destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake, and by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, he managed to accumulate great wealth. That much of the story everyone knows. However, this is where the strange part begins. Part of it involves grandfather's black magic obsession, so its credibility is extremely low, but, well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. After the war, grandfather correctly predicted what the future would hold and won in a huge gamble, accumulating a vast store of wealth. But there's a mysterious legend about how he gained his initial funding. Grandfather came from a branch family and had no connections in the business world or the financial world. Even though he later built connections with the occupying forces, he supposedly started as a nameless person who hadn't yet gained anyone's trust. It takes trust to gather money. There's no way anyone would lend money to someone they didn't trust. How did grandfather, who had no reputation at all, manage to obtain his first vast chunk of funds? When asked that question, grandfather supposedly answered like this. On a certain day, I encountered the Golden Witch Beatrice. Grandfather then went on and on about his continuing research into alchemy and techniques for summoning demons in order to become a great magician. And the entity summoned as the result of the demon calling ceremony was the Golden Witch Beatrice. He then apparently made a contract by which he would receive fortune and honor in exchange for his own soul. The witch then granted grandfather 10 tons of gold. Grandfather used this gold as collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds, which he then used to multiply his wealth many times over and revive the Ushiromiya family. It seems this story is so old that even our parents were told it when they were still children. So back when our parents were young, they explored the island in all sorts of ways, believing that the gold grandfather had received from the witch might be hidden somewhere. However, since there was the danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forest, grandmother began to spread the story that the witch lived in the forest and approaching it was forbidden. I remember that old story. When we were little, we also went all over the island searching for treasure after our parents told us about it. Didn't we get lost in the forest once and started crying until some of the servants found us? Our parents got so mad. Dang, that takes me back. We sure were idiots, weren't we? After all, grandfather only bought this island after using those funds to get rich, right? That means he must have had the gold before coming here. There's no way the gold's on this island. That's not necessarily so. Maybe the gold was hidden on the island from the beginning, and he bought the whole island just to ensure that it'd be his and his alone. There was a whole 10 metric tons of it, right? And it seems more realistic that he'd try to secure the place where it was hidden rather than try to move it all. This epitaph was made 2 years ago, and since grandfather wrote it himself, yeah, it does make the legend of the gold seem more believable. The so-called witch's gold that revived the Ushiromiya family weighed 10 tons. Maybe that's sleeping somewhere to be turned over to whoever can solve grandfather's riddle. Maybe that's why they did it. Why he did it. I guess it sounds like grandfather's style or something. If it's true, that's pretty incredible. The epitaph carved into the plate was very mysterious, with something like a poem or a song written on it. The text was incredibly disturbing, filled with the signs of grandfather's black magic hobby, and its contents were in truly bad taste. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle, which, if solved, might lead to the hidden gold. Whether that's what he intended or not, I can't even imagine what his true motive might have been. All we know for sure is that grandfather put this shady epitaph here so that everyone in the family could see it. We also know that he's hinted at the existence of the gold without ever talking about where it might be hidden, at least so far. These facts then were embellished by the imaginations of our parents, who were convinced that grandfather was challenging us to a battle of wits. Sounds just like my dad, so greedy that he takes something like this so seriously. He may laugh at grandfather's black magic obsession, but he'd still believe this story about the hidden gold. It just sounds so good. Well, it's certainly not a realistic story. At that time, when grandfather was still nameless and had no connections, there's no way anyone would just lend him a massive quantity of gold bars for free. If such a person actually did exist, it's not unthinkable that grandfather would call such a sponsor a witch. Yeah, but it's 10 tons. 10 tons! If you cash that in, how much would it come to? I mean, it'd have to be a ridiculous amount, right? It certainly would be a ridiculous amount. They say that the total amount of gold mined by humankind since the dawn of history is 100,000 metric tons at most. That's still quite a lot. Sorry, I need a drink. That 1/10,000th of all the gold humankind has obtained throughout history should belong to just one person is insane. On top of that, this witch supposedly had all that gold collected in one place and was able to lend it to grandfather just like that. We're not talking about any ordinary person. We're talking about a witch. Also, maybe that 10 tons number seems pretty fishy. After all, no one's actually seen it except grandfather, right? Even if we assume that some generous witch existed and lent him some gold, maybe it was closer to like 10 kilograms than 10 tons. Even 10 kilograms would be a pretty incredible sum, right?
10 kilograms of gold is how much?
Maria, who wasn't following the story and felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask us a question. It was a question I also wanted answered right then. Whether it was 10 kilograms or 10 tons still felt like a huge amount, but I had no idea exactly how huge. George Aniki folded his arms and tried to remember the market price of gold. Well, even the value of gold is affected by the market. The value of physical gold can change depending on its purity and the trustworthiness of the foundry. You'd also need to pay handling fees to cash it in. However, that doesn't change the fact that it's a precious metal, and some people estimate that humanity will mine all the world's gold within half a century if gold mining continues at its current rate. Just guessing haphazardly, I think you could expect a price of about 2 million yen per kilogram? Whoa! Just now I randomly said 10 kilograms since it sounded smaller. But even that would be worth 20 million yen, wouldn't it?
I weigh 28 kilograms.
Which means that if we had Maria-chan's weight in gold, we could estimate it's worth at over 50 million yen. That's just unbelievable. How much would 10 tons be then? 10 kilograms is 20 million yen, which you multiply by 1,000, so, huh? 20 billion yen? What the hell? How much is 20 billion yen actually worth? If we can only measure it relative to our own pocketbooks. Anyway, let's say that a person's wages over a lifetime are about 200 million yen. You grow up and work like crazy, sacrificing your life for your company, and you're finally freed as you approach old age. Everything, including retirement money, might add up to about 200 million yen. In other words, that's the amount of money that'll be made throughout a human's life. No, you couldn't even call it the value of a life. So 100 times that sum is an unbelievable amount of money. If you work from age 20 to age 60, that's 40 years of work, so it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. If you worked every day starting from the Jomon period, you'd only reach that number about now.
Is 20 billion yen a lot?
Heck yeah, it's a lot. Maria, you love shortcake, right? You could buy more shortcake than you could possibly eat for the rest of your life. However, while that might be possible with 20 billion yen in cash, I don't think it would be very realistic to have that much in gold bars all in one place. Just as I said, gold is extremely heavy, so it isn't exactly convenient as a method of storing wealth. Sure, you could imagine someone gathering their fortune together as incredibly high-value stocks or precious gems. You often hear of people who traded their wealth for precious gems so that they could carry it around with them during the chaotic times of the war. But you don't usually hear stories of people exchanging their wealth for gold. It may be heavy, but it's the most trusted and stable form of wealth internationally, so maybe that was more important. For example, bonds are just scraps of paper if the whole country goes under. You can also look at it this way. But even one 10-kilogram ingot is pretty heavy to carry around. Haven't you heard? A 50-kilogram person can't carry a 50-kilogram bag over their shoulder. With that many gold bars, the amount of labor and risk for one person would be hard to calculate. So what you're saying is, well, it'd be one thing if you had a stack of banknotes worth 20 billion yen. 20 billion yen in gold would be such a big mountain that practically it'd be kind of pointless. That's right. Although the legend of the gold does have a pretty interesting ring to it, just the part about the 10 tons of gold makes it pretty much impossible. If you think about it logically like that, it sounds obviously fake. Haha, kind of brings you back down to reality. Anyway, that's grandfather for you. Maybe he exaggerated the story of how some kind wealthy person gave him a loan by saying he got 10 tons of gold from a witch. Even the number 10 tons feels pretty symbolic. I mean, like his gratitude for the money he borrowed was worth 10 tons of gold or something. Haha, maybe some rich man's leisured wife generously granted it to grandfather. And maybe he started calling this person a witch. I see. Jessica's example isn't bad. Someone who generously lent a huge sum of money to grandfather when he still had no reputation might as well be called a witch. Furthermore, grandfather actually did use that money to build a vast amount of wealth later on. The fact that this person was so great at judging people might also justify calling her a witch. Also, since she went to the trouble of lending all that money, she might have enthusiastically overseen how it was spent. The decision to unexpectedly get involved with the occupying forces and profit from the Korean War demands might have inspired by the Korean War demands. I forgot that was all one thing. Profit from the Korean War demands might have been inspired by the witch herself. That might explain why he claimed to have received both wealth and honor from her. I see. So, in other words, this witch lent grandfather the funds necessary to revive the Ushirama family, and owed her big time. Excuse me. And then he felt so grateful that he had a huge painting drawn and displayed. Yeah, it's not that crazy a story. It's even possible this person was an old granny who looked like a witch. Maybe grandfather idolized her, and that's why he had her drawn to look so beautiful. Ha 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 ha. I'll bet if we ever did meet this person, she wouldn't be nearly this pretty. Crazy, right? Imagine if you actually met that person. That's possible. The name Beatrice sounds pretty Western if you think about how everyone in our family has Western names. Maybe even the name Beatrice is the result of grandfather trying to rearrange some Japanese person's name to make it sound Western. I get it. That means this pretty girl doesn't exist outside the picture. I guess that means I won't be able to rub those elegant breasts. Oh wait, that's... okay, that's Badler. My bad. Guess that means I won't be able to rub those elegant breasts. Okay, yeah. The color of Badler's outfit. Fuck, I'd have to see the grandpa's outfit again. It's not quite. I think it's just slightly different. But like the color of Badler's outfit with like the white jacket, the red undershirt, and like the vest, it almost looked the same as like the grandfather's. He had like a white suit. I'm pretty sure he had like a red undershirt. I'm trying to remember what the color of his vest was. I don't fucking... Wait, can I... Wait, isn't there something in the options? System. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I totally forgot you can just click and look at it. Yeah. Well, Badler's outfit here is a bit more off-white. This is more of like a silverish color, and this is closer to like a white, off-white kind of thing. But yeah, they both got the red undershirt, and he's got a purple tie, whereas he's got this like purplish vest underneath. I don't know. I got a feeling there's something there, but oh, whoops, wrong one. With how they're dressed. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it sure seems that way. Oh my god. Look at all these new sprites. Jesus. This man's a manlet now. Oh my god. Here he looks like a big, like, intimidating man. He's like... This man fucking tiny. See, this does look like a... this guy here looks like an actual high schooler. That's a whole ass man. Oh my god. They all look so short, it's so stupid. Oh my god. What's Nazi look like? Just the stance of that pose. I'm honestly, I gotta look through all these. Jessica, what do you look like? What's with the big goofy ass sleeves? Oh, that looks so stupid. They kind of kept that a bit here, but like, oh, like, Nanjo. Yeah, no, not really much there. Ava. Oh God. Oh, you look freaky. Oh, you look freaky. I do not like your look there. She looks like a goddamn Muppet. Hideyoshi, what do you look like? God, that forehead line. Ugh. George, what do you look like, my guy? I mean, that looks like a lot closer to how I've been voicing him, for sure. Like, here he's like, oh yeah, he's intellectual, but kind of an attractive young man. And then it's just like,
Hey guys, wanna go play Yu-Gi-Oh later?
oh, Rudolph. Talk to me. Oh my God. What the fuck is this face? What the fuck is it? What is going on with his head? Oh God, I don't know. I can't like pinpoint what it is exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God, like that. Okay, that looks like a face, and then it's like, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is that shit? All right, Kyrie, what do you look like? Yeah, not too bad. We already saw Battler. Genji, what do you look like? Yeah, you honestly haven't changed much. Your nose is a bit smaller, a bit more anime style, but you haven't changed much. Rosa, talk to me, Rosa. Your hair looks fucking stupid. Other than that, no, it looks alright. Oh my God, no. Maria. Oh God. Oh God. Of course, the one short person. She looks. She looks like a fucking grown-ass woman they forced to wear a child's outfit. Like, she looks to be like Badler's age, but they stuffed her into a child's outfit. Like that looks like an actual 9-year-old. What the hell is this? What the hell is that? Oh, I'm so glad I'm using the. What is JP? Oh, English. I mean, language is what I'm trying to. I thought it was gonna be another set of sprites. Oh my God, Shannon, what do you look like? Oh, wait, do the servants have the eagles? Oh, they do. Okay. Why does Shannon have a whole ass tattoo then? Do women have to get tattoos? Because I noticed Ava has a tattoo. Rosa, where is your tattoo? Jessica, ¿dónde? ¿Dónde es tu tattoo? Ava. Not Ava. Maria. Did they fucking force you to get a tattoo? Weird. I wonder why she... Is that like a point? Furthermore, Shannon is nothing more than a pseudonym that she uses when on duty, not her real name. Is that why she has the fucking eagle tattoo? I don't know. There are multiple servants with the own character in their pseudonyms. He and Shannon happen to be the ones on duty that day. What did you look like originally? Yeah, no. he still carries like the same exact vibe, honestly. Goda. You fucking jackass. Yeah, you smug bastard. Komasawa. Ugh. God. So many of these. This one, more than anything. Oh my God. Holy hell, that looks so horrible. Rudolph looks fucking disgusting. And Kinzo looks like a goddamn manlet. Oh, wow. I was only going here to fucking compare the colors, which... Yo, if we look at the original colors, which, yo... It's very obvious. They got the red undershirt, but that's about all they got going for them. Like, here his vest is gray. Here the tie is more of that light lavender. Whereas they kind of seem like similar shades of purple to me anyway. Maybe I'm a stupid fuck. That's more than likely. Oh god, this was great though. I'm glad I took this little detour, just like looked at all the original sprites, cause Jesus Christ. These are fucking hideous. I know that's what a lot of people like. I know another series that from the same author, Higurashi, has like also has like they have modern sprites and also original sprites. I've seen the original sprites for Higurashi and they do look stupid, but like they're an enjoyable kind of stupid. Like I don't mind looking at them, but like this shit. I've never seen like all the original like an Umineko sprites. And it's like, yeah, no, I did. How I don't understand how people could play with this shit. It looks horrible. It looks so fucking awful. Why would you play with original sprites? Also, I'm gonna save for no other reason than I can. I don't know. Anyway, that was a detour, but god damn it, I loved it. Oh, that was so great. They just fucking make me laugh so hard. They look horrible. Like I said, the Higurashi sprites that I've seen, they have some charm to them, but like, the OG Umineko sprites look fucking horrendous. In the first place, isn't having a witch pretty bizarre by itself? Like, you could go find something like that anywhere on Earth. I laughed and made fun of the witch, trying to distinguish myself from the kid I was 6 years ago, who feared the Witch of the Forest, when Maria tugged on my sleeve. I could tell by how hard she pulled that she was a bit upset. What is it, Maria?
Misfortune. Beatrice exists.
Maria stared up at me. She had on her usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry by the color of her eyes. Blue?
Witches exist. Witches exist.
Well, sure they do exist. If you turn the TV on and watch anime or something.
Exist. Witches exist.
I started getting impatient, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Then Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and whispered, "Dumbass, you're smashing a kid's dream."
Maria really believes things like witches and Beatrice exist.
Come to think of it, Maria-chan, in social studies at your school, when you were asked to write what you wanted to be when you grow up, you wrote a witch, didn't you? Maria nodded seriously. Tears started to run from the corners of her eyes. I see. To a girl who wants to become a witch in the future, the existence of Beatrice was proof that witches do exist in this world, and was therefore an image that she yearned after and admired.
Exist. Exist. Witches exist. But Badler still doesn't believe.
It's okay. Witches do exist. I believe it. George Aniki kneeled down and hugged Maria's head. Watching this, Jessica poked my side. So that's what it is. It's like shouting that Santa Claus doesn't exist in front of a child who believes in him on Christmas Eve. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams. I am. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make fun of your dreams, so I apologize. Beatrice does exist. Even now, she's living in the forest and comes to the mansion every night to peek in and see what everyone's doing. So you shouldn't go into the forest. At night, you mustn't stare into the dark forest. You might be seen by the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice. After all, Grandmother said so.
Really? Badler really believes?
Yep, I believe. Sorry for doubting it. Come on, let's make up. I stuck out my hand. Maria grabbed it with her tiny hand and we made up. Maria didn't grumble any more than that, so George, Aniki, and Jessica were relieved.